Kenny Winslow is going to speak first for about 5 minutes.
Well, thank you, sir. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight to learn more about your police department, what you want in the next chief, and get a chance to get to know each of us. With that said, I am humbled and honored to be here tonight and to be in consideration for this position. I can sit here and regurgitate my resume to you. I'm not going to do that. I would like you to get to know me as a person, who I am. First and foremost, I am a Christian. I have been married to my wife Becky for 24 years. I have 4 lovely children, including my daughter Haley, who's in the crowd tonight with me. I have a 16-year-old daughter named Abby. I have a 11-year-old son named Drew, and I have a 6-year-old daughter named Elena. With that said, my wife Becky is a school teacher. Today was the first day of school and she could not make it, but she sends her best to you. With that said, you know, I've been very fortunate and blessed in my life. I was born and raised in Alton, Illinois. I come from a family of lower socioeconomics. One that my father worked for the steel mill on both sides of the river and was laid off oftentimes in the early 80s, where I learned that a strong work ethic and honesty and integrity are who you are. My father instilled that in me. He also instilled to me that sometimes good people make bad decisions, and they shouldn't have to be defined by that. With that said, you know, I know what it feels like to depend on social services for Christmas and Thanksgiving. As a young man, you don't talk about those things because you're embarrassed by them. But as you grow older and more mature, you realize that's who shapes you as a person. And that has affected me in my leadership in the Springfield Police Department, as well as how I carry myself in the public. In 1995, I had the honor and privilege to join the Springfield Police Department. I've served in every aspect of the department. With that, I worked my way up through the ranks. And I've served as a neighborhood police officer, a resident officer, community police officer, a field training officer, an undercover narcotics investigator, vice investigator. Had the opportunity to do many different things. As I progressed through the ranks, my responsibilities became greater. In 2010, I had the honor of being selected to join the senior staff of the police department, the commander of the Field Operations Division, which is our uniform division, which oversees most of our specialty assignments, to include our emergency response team, our mobile field force team, our hostage negotiating team, street crimes unit, etc. With that, you're also tasked with administrative duties, and that's developing policy and procedure and training for the department. In July of 2013, I was then selected to be the interim chief for the Springfield Police Department. I came into the position after a little bit of scandal in our department under a Freedom of Information Act issue. So, with that said, at 18 years on, I was the youngest chief in the history of our department. Was I really ready for that position at that time? Probably not. There's no playbook when you become a chief on how to do things. You learn through experiences, you learn through opportunities, and you realize and you reflect on how things went, how you can do better, and how you move forward. But the one thing you don't do is you don't give up. You don't give up. You strive to serve your community. You embrace servant leadership. You embrace community policing. You realize in order to carry out our mission, you have to work with the community as part of the community in partnership. The things that our officers are facing every day, they're out there doing a great job, probably the most challenging time of their career. You have to support them. They're out there for the vast majority, giving 110% and doing great things. There's also things we have to realize that our profession is evolving. We have to realize that society's expectations of law enforcement are evolving, and we can't be scared of change. We have to embrace that change and move forward. When I became chief, I was tasked with taking community policing from a unit and making it a department-wide philosophy and pushing that down. I was also tasked with minority recruitment and increasing the diversity in our police department. 34% of all my hires have been minority and female. Additionally, I was tasked with crime reduction, embracing technology and other innovative strategies to do that. In my time as chief, our Part 1 index crimes are down 22%, and my time in the senior staff is down 39%. So we've been effective, we have been successful in a lot of things we've done. A lot of our community policing philosophy and strategies have been recognized by civic organizations, from the NAACP to the Urban League to the Frontiers International. So again, I look forward to learning more about you, getting to meet you, understand what your concerns are, what you like seeing us police chief, and we can see the department go. So again, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Chief. Next is Deputy Director Jamal Simington.
Thank you, Mr. Gleason. Good afternoon, Mayor, councilmen and women, city manager, deputy city manager, other elected officials, my significant other, Stacy Lester, my sister, Teresa Holly. family, friends, and residents of Bloomington. My name is Jamal Simington, and I'm humbly honored and privileged to be one of the finalists in your search for the next chief of police. I've been blessed to serve in the public service sector since my teenage years, growing up in the second poorest community here in Illinois. At a young age, I knew public service was where I was destined, and the noble profession of a law enforcement officer is what resonated. The 30 years of law enforcement experience and being a professional has culminated into this opportunity. During this journey, I've been very fortunate to serve with many highly dedicated, professional, and brave women and men, friends, mentors, and teammates. Previous service with the Progressive Sheriff's Department, and then 22 years of dedicated service with the Illinois State Police, one of the premier full-service state police agencies in this nation, which is also accredited, equipped me to serve at a high level, lead diverse teams with an array of challenges, missions, and responsibilities. Along the way, I've had the distinct pleasure to collaborate with many private stakeholders and public sector organizations at all levels of government throughout Illinois as I reached the pinnacle of my career, serving as a deputy director and colonel over the Division of Internal Investigations and now the Training Academy. I have witnessed and partook in the evolution and professionalization of the police occupation. I have made being a lifelong learner an essential need as I rose through the ranks to the executive leadership with a focus of continuous improvement and best practice implementation. Accountability, professionalism, and transparency are pillars which I hold at the forefront as I have led and enhanced teams under my tutelage. If I am blessed to be selected for this very important and high-profile position of leadership for the city of Bloomington and its police department, I will embrace the magnitude of its responsibilities. The dedicated and selfless women and men of this professional organization, which was established in 1850, deserve a leader who will partner with them to increase public trust, maintain a high level of character, enhance capabilities, procure the best equipment, and have a deliberate focus on officer safety and wellness. I will be an ambassador for this agency, one who will strive to problem solve and steadfastly support the efforts of the police department staff, making it less about me and all about their successes in this community. These noble professionals work for an organization which provides a high level of service, care, and protection for Bloomington. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, year after year after year. They run towards danger when others run away from it. They deal with community members at their worst when no other resource is equipped to. They observe and have ever sketched into their memories the horrible effects of violence. I have admired the Bloomington Police Department and have had the occasion to work with its executive staff. I have also experienced positive contacts with these officers serving my community. I applaud and thank them for enhancing safety in the city, for my family and my friends. As your police chief, I will work diligently for and engage with the community where I live and have raised 2 of my 3 children, and where several of my family members also call home. I will ensure accountability, professionalism, and transparency at all levels of this agency, including for myself. I look forward to working with all community members and stakeholders to increase the quality of life, positively impact public safety, and solve problems collaboratively. The police department has to have a strong and trustworthy relationship with its community members and elected officials. This department must strive for excellence and to be inclusive and diverse, as well as a listening organization. The agency has to protect its community members of all socioeconomic statuses, sexual preferences, races, and creeds. The department must enjoy a strong relationship with the community, the business community, to be a partner and resource for its school systems and not-for-profit organizations, as well as a leader in other capacities. You have my commitment. The Bloomington Police Department will strive to normalize excellence, improve processes, acquire the best training, recruit a diverse workforce, and be deliberate about professionalism. The many publicized challenges of the law enforcement profession have been at the forefront, and I look to partner with you to meet those challenges, maintain peace, and educate one another. Again, I fully understand the importance of an accountable, professional, and transparent police agency which supports legitimacy. I look forward to meeting many of you this afternoon. I thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be here for this important event. I would be remiss if I did not congratulate Chief Kenny Winslow on making it to the final stage of the selection process. And I also want to congratulate you, Chief, on being the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police Chief of the Year.
Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you.